welcome to episode 29 of the Mingled Yarncast. I'm your host, Steven, also known as KnitFan on Instagram and Ravelry. And it's been quite a while since my last video. Well, it's only been 3 weeks since I posted the last video, but it's been about 6 weeks since I filmed it. So lots of things to catch you up on. I wish I had more to show you. I do have several things to show you today. I wish there was a little bit more, but I've been in kind of a, I don't know, not a funk, that's not the right word, that sounds heavier than it is, but just my knitting mojo has decreased a little bit recently. But I've found my way back to it, and I will talk to you about why that has happened, perhaps, and what's helped me out. In fact, I had thought when I was planning out this episode that the theme that was kind of resonating with me was the idea of loss. But I thought to myself, if I have a title thumbnail that says loss, that's uplifting, isn't it? I'm sure everybody will be rushing to watch that. So I'm probably I haven't made the thumbnail yet, so who knows what I'm going to call it by the time I actually do, but probably renewal. I think that's going to be the better term, and it's certainly more appropriate for springtime. Not that it feels like springtime here in the New York City area. As you can see, I am wearing my Lopapeza. I'm going to talk about it a lot in just a minute here. Made with the plötulopi yarn that I purchased in Iceland in Reykjavik. And, this is a warm piece. Let me tell you, it is very warm. It's very light in terms of its weight, but it is very warm. However, it has been so cold here lately, except when it's not. It's gone from like 75 to 35 and everywhere in between, but closer to the cooler end of things. So yeah, it's been strange. In fact, a friend of mine posted something yesterday or today saying, I'm going out in NYC, I'm ready. I've got my umbrella, my coat, my sunglasses, my suntan lotion, my sweater, my bikini, how do you dress? How do you dress in this weather? But anyway, I am wearing this, and it's actually not so uncomfortable as of this moment. Although, according to the forecast, things are going to start warming up here. So perhaps it will start to feel more like a true spring very soon. And this will have to go away for the season. So this might be the last time I wear it before next year. I really kind of hope so. Not that I don't love you. Kátir Karlar sweater. It's very, very warm and fuzzy and fun, and I really, really loved making it. So, before I get to the sadder stuff, let me just talk about this for a minute, shall I? So, like I said, and like you may have seen from the previous episode, this was made with plötulopi yarn, which is unspun and very fragile. It pulls apart very easily. So you use 2 strands of it. It's unspun, but it still comes in strands, which is kind of confusing, I think, but whatever. I didn't make up the terms. Anyway, you hold them together, and you can. It makes a very, very durable, hardy product. Like, this is not ripping apart, right? So, but the strands of it, they float away like bits of feather on a cloud in a pool of cotton candy. I'm just throwing metaphors out there. But anyway, yeah, that's kind of what it feels like when you're working with it. But it knits up beautifully. It's so much fun to work with. I really, really, really loved it, and I really, really recommend. I know some of you on Instagram and here in the comments have mentioned that you've thought about working with the yarn, but it's a little intimidating, and I get that because I was intimidated a bit by it too. But I did find that working with it, it was not bad at all. Yes, there were some moments where it tore, but I mean, honestly, you just pick up the other. You don't even have to do a spit splice. You can pretty much just put the ends together and rub them, and then it's fixed, and you keep going. And there's 2 strands anyway, so it's fine. So since there were 2 strands, let me retell the story of this pattern in case you didn't see the previous episode. So it is called Kátir Karlar. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but it's in Icelandic, and that translates to merry men. And if you look closely, and if you use your imagination a bit, you may see the merry men on the bottom of the yoke. So the pointy orangey browny bit, that is their beard, and the dots above are their eyes, and therefore it's a lot of faces all along with a little mouth going, oh. and, um, anyhow, I was kind of in love with the pattern, and when I was in the Hand Knitting Association of Iceland, I always feel like I'm getting that name wrong. It's a long name, but um, anyway, when I was talking with Marta in there, I pointed out to her that this pattern in the description says specifically that these are meant to be laughing men, laughing Vikings, in fact. And she didn't realize that, and she's like, "What are you talking about?" And I was like, "No, no, look at it." And she says, "Oh, you're right." And I had said, "Well, I kind of want to get some red in here for their beards to give them, a little Scandi look there, and make it even more Viking-esque." And so I did, and I love, love, love how this aspect of it turned out. So much so that when I got to this part, the sort of black diamonds here, I got perhaps a little bit carried away and a little too excited. And I thought, well, I have this orange rust color now. I want to use it throughout a little bit. And I did in other parts. It's here in the collar, and I'll stand up here to show you the waist. So we even have some laughing Vikings down there on the waist. So I'm going to put the picture up here too so you can see this as I'm talking. But I got it overexcited with the rust, and I put it in the diamonds, and I thought, no, less is more. Like it really, the accent of this line, this arc, I love that, how there's just this brush of rust color through what would otherwise be a brown and gray and black, very, very neutral piece. It gives it that little bit of pizzazz. And the black diamonds mixed with the orange, it didn't do anything at all. It really distracted from it, in fact. So I made the decision, difficult as it was. Well, it wasn't that difficult. I made the decision to frog it, and it wasn't that difficult because I realized if I didn't do this, then I was never going to wear this piece, and I wanted to wear it. So I took that apart, had some fun making some videos and photos with the mess of frogged plötulopi, because when you frog that stuff, let me tell you, it doesn't stay together quite as well as other yarn does. And yes, I mean, if I had needed it, I could have probably carefully separated all the bits of it, but I had enough left that I was like, let me just move on, let it go. And I started fresh with what was left on the plate of yarn. And I did use a little bit of orange in that middle section, just the middle. You can kind of see it. Sorry. There we go. I have to do this looking down at myself and not at the screen because it's not mirrored, so it's kind of disorienting. But anyway, yeah. And anyway, after I did that and made that change, which, by the way, is closer to what the actual pattern calls for. And clearly, Vedas, Jon's daughter, she knows what she's talking about. She's designed tons of these lopapeyza and is one of the sort of better known, best known designers of lopapeyzas in Iceland. And yeah, I did what she said, and I'm not upset about that. I think it looks fantastic. Teach me to go off on my own and ruin a good pattern, huh? And actually, the colors in this pattern are pretty much, except for the orange, are exactly as written in her pattern. So it looks very, very similar. And yeah, I love it. I really do. I haven't worn it out a whole lot yet. I mean, I'm wearing it now, and I mentioned that it's cold here, but I didn't wear it today all day. I'm wearing it right now. You know what? I haven't blocked it yet. I finished it like 2 weeks ago, and then I went away, and then I came back, and I kind of just lost track. And yeah, but it doesn't seem to. It's not needing it at the moment, is it? It's got that fun, fuzzy aura to it, doesn't it? A little bit of a halo, a little bit of a glow. Yeah. So this is Kátir Karlar, and I definitely recommend the pattern. I recommend the yarn. I think you'll have a great time with it. So, having said all that, what is all this loss that I've been talking about? I guess I'll start with the more profound, the most profound, frankly. It's the loss of a great aunt, my aunt Mary J, who was my mother's mother's sister. And my mother's mother, my grandmother, she died when I was in high school in the 90s. So Aunt J was sort of the last person in that generation, in that line of my family. Um, and she lived in Ithaca, and I had very, very fond memories of visiting her when I was quite young, and then also when I first moved to New York. And then many years went by without getting a chance to see her again, and entirely my fault and the lack of planning. And I'm sure how it is when you lose a loved one, and just the regret of time not spent with them, the moments you won't share, the stories you won't hear, things like that, just weighing on me as it does whenever there's the death of a loved one. Um, but I did go to Ithaca for her funeral, and got to see my mother and my aunts and my cousin, who is her son, the aunt that passed away. And while I was there, I mean, you know how it is with these kinds of things. It's a sad occasion to get together, but then you are surrounded by loved ones, and there were some happy moments too, in getting to catch up. But we were 2 blocks in our hotel from a yarn store, so of course I had to go and get something to commemorate the occasion and to remember. So I found this. Everything's tangled up over here. This yarn from a local Ithaca dyer. And now I'm forgetting the name. Is it punk rock yarns? Is it hard punk? Is it... One second, I have to look this up. Okay. It is Manic Punk. Manic Punk yarns. And yeah, Manic Punk. That fits this, right? So, yeah, local dyer in the Ithaca area. And this has been a fun yarn to work with. Now, about what you see here, this sock that I've been working on, I kind of just started playing around, and this is my own design. And I don't love how it's turning out, so I'm probably going to undo most of it and start again with something new. But I do like how the yarn itself looks and how it's knitting up. That's very nice. And I was recently on a flight to Tampa on JetBlue, and JetBlue in the evenings keeps on a blue light above the cabin, and I was gonna turn my overhead light on to work. Sometimes I feel bad about doing that when it's nighttime and people want to sleep, but I only feel bad if it's like sleepy time. It was only 8 o'clock, so it was not that bad. But even so, I don't like to be annoying, but oh well. But in this case, I didn't have to. I was about to turn it on, and then I was like, wait a second. This is glowing in the dark. Like, it with a black light or a blue light on it, it was perfectly visible. I'm going to show you the picture here. So for the entire flight, I worked on it like 2.5 hours in that exact light as you see. And that was fun. That was kind of fun. And I have another flight coming up soon. I'm going to Prague in just a few days here. And so by the way, if you have any recommendations for Prague, then you can please let me know, because I've never been. Whether they are yarn recommendations or just food or drink or what have you, please tell me what I should see and do. But anyway, yeah, I may take this apart so that I can play around with it on that flight, because that will be obviously much longer. And I like having something small to work on the plane. I've got some bigger things to work on, but I don't know if I want to bring that for the plane knitting. Then again, I don't know, because the bigger thing I'm working on is very exciting and fun, and I'm going to show you that in a minute anyway too. But anyhow, so here's the sock that I'm working on, and this is the yarn purchased in Ithaca as we were gathered together to remember my Aunt J. So this will always remind me of her and that moment, I suppose. So that was one thing. Now, other bits of loss. My bike was stolen. Yeah, my bike was stolen. And I've mentioned before that I used to bike everywhere to work every day. I would take it on the ferry and cross the ferry over into Manhattan and bike my way to work and loved it. Great exercise, very healthy. I still have a healthy commute, only instead of taking the ferry to Midtown and biking, I take it downtown and I walk. And it's a good half-hour walk each way. So I'm still getting, some exercise. But anyway, the point is, my bike was stolen, and that feels horrible. Um, it was it was a violation, and I'm very upset. And yet, I had that bike for a very, very long time, and it was time for a new one. And I'm the type of person that I'm never, ever, ever going to get rid of something if it still works. And, I don't replace things like that. So, after it went missing, I was mad about it for a good while, but then I thought, okay, you know what? I've had the bike for 22 years. I can get a new one. It's gonna be okay. And so with that, and then there were just other smaller things that kept happening. Opportunities that would come and go, or things I didn't get to do, or I don't know. I just kept reflecting on the fact that um, things, things and events and moments that have disappeared, where I didn't get to embrace them as I wanted, um, have also meant the opportunity for new things to come and replace them. And I don't know, I've just been experienced a lot more detachment, I suppose, in general, in my life, towards possessions, towards moments, towards time. Um, yeah. And things that would have upset me more earlier in life are upsetting me much less now. Such as, okay, so you may remember that I performed in the Lord of the Rings concert, end of February, beginning of March. And at the same time, maybe 2 weeks before that concert, I was flipping through Instagram, and there was a advertisement or a posting from Tori Amos, who, as you know, if you're a longtime follower of this channel, I talk about Tori Amos all the time. She's my favorite. She's my muse. And in fact, she has released a kids book called Tori and the Muses, and she was doing a book tour. And on this tour, she was coming to Barnes and Noble in Union Square, and I had actually met her there 20 years ago at this very same place. Met a very good friend of mine today there. So we were reflecting on how this was a full circle moment, and we were going to go there because I saw this post when it came up. It was like 6 minutes posted, and I thought, oh, these tickets are going to sell out. I need to get this immediately. So I did, and I just bought the ticket. It was like 20, $25. I was like, good, I'm going to get it. No questions asked. I should have asked some questions, though, because the date of it, I didn't worry about the date. All I saw was, oh, it's in March. I have nothing to do in March. It's fine. Except that I did. I had Lord of the Rings, where I was singing at Radio City Music Hall, and you know, it was like I we did 5 shows of that show in over 4 days, and frankly, there were people that missed a show here and there. That we were told that you could miss one. I told them initially that I wasn't going to miss any, but then this came up, and I thought, oh, do I ask for the time off? I feel bad about that. It just doesn't feel right. But it's Tori, and I really want to see her, and she's on this tour. And I'd already started making her something, of course, too. So, given the fact that her book is called Tori and the Muses, and given the fact that she is very much my muse in so many ways, I wanted to make her a version of my SeaChange scarf that I had designed using Windy Valley Muskox's yarn. And in this case, I did make her one. I used their buffalo blend, and I believe it is buffalo, merino, and silk. And I hadn't used that blend before. It was really, really beautiful. I don't have it to show you because I made it so quickly, and I wasn't able to make a video while I was doing it. And I was also kind of keeping it secret because I didn't know if this was going to come to fruition. As in fact, in the end, it did not. but anyhow, I made it. I worked on it, and I was so excited to give it to her. And I kept thinking, I'm gonna get the chutzpah up here, and I'm going to ask for this time. But just as I well, and I should tell you too, what it comes down to, in case I'm not being clear about this, it's a commitment thing. It's a work ethic thing, right? I said I was going to do something, so I need to do it. End of story. But then there's that other voice in my head that's trying to say, oh, you don't do this often. It's a one-time thing. It's Tori, right? So as these voices are battling it out in my head, I'd started to write an email to the choir to ask for the permission to go. And then I didn't send it. And then another day passed. I mean, at this point, we're already doing the shows. It was Sunday night, the final day that I would have missed. And I wrote another email. I finally convinced myself to do it, and I was going to hit send, and I didn't right away. I waited a few minutes, and in those few minutes, I got text messages from friends who had told me, "Oh, we just bought tickets to see you on Sunday." And I thought, okay, well that's it. I can't skip out. That's not right, and I won't do it. So, sorry me, sorry Tori, sorry muses, but this meeting is not going to happen. So I did meet with my friend Daynell, who is the Tori friend that I mentioned earlier, and I gave her the scarf to give to Tori, and I had really hoped that she'd be able to get a picture, but here is where I come back to this feeling of, things work out the way they're supposed to work out, and it really doesn't matter that I didn't get to see her. I mean, I would have loved to. Don't get me wrong, Tori, if you're watching. Of course I wanted to see you. But we sang that performance that night, and these shows were long and arduous and difficult and taxing on the body. It's a 4-hour show, okay? So doing that like 3 nights before and then the final matinee, it's very, very long. And yet, Radio City seats like 6,000 people, so over 5 performances, it sold out each one, so there were like 30,000 people. And I thought to myself, this is very, very special that I have gotten to be a part of this, that I have gotten to be part of this thing, this show, that is bringing so much joy, because the audiences were crazy. They loved it. They loved it so much. They'd scream, they would laugh, they would say the lines, they would, yell when they were supposed to yell. I mean, it was very interactive. And to be part of something that brought that much joy to that many people all at once. How often in life do you get to do that? I mean, I make these videos, and I know that those of you watching are enjoying it, and I hope that you continue to. But maybe one day I'll put out a video and I'll get numbers like, 30,000. But that hasn't happened quite yet. So to be part of something that brought instantaneous joy to all these people made me feel really delighted and happy. And the last performance actually was very, very moving. In part because this is the 3rd movie of the Lord of the Rings trilogy, and we've done the previous 2 in the previous year, so there's been actually a journey with this conductor and with this group of people making this music. So I was glad that I was there. I was very glad that I was there, and that I was able to bring it to a close, and that I didn't skip that last performance. I'm really, really happy. So then, of course, later when I talked to Daynell and the show's over, so I'm like looking at my phone hoping there's a picture. I mean, I didn't, forget about Tori. She let me know that it was a huge crowd, and unlike previous times when we've seen her do book signings and actually had a chance to kind of talk a little bit, the publishing company was kind of pushing people through. It was more just like, hi, shake hands, get a book that's already been signed, and take a picture and go. So, I wouldn't have really gotten a chance to chat anyway. And Daynell did give her my scarf, which, had I been there, I would have been able to hand it to her and say, hey, look, I made this for you, which didn't happen. As it is, her people took the gift and put it to the side, and hopefully she saw it later. I don't know. She hasn't messaged me, but she's busy. She'll message me one day soon. She's busy. But anyhow, yeah. So again, what felt like a loss at first was actually just um, an opening for me to do something that, looking back on it, is probably will have been more meaningful than if I had not done it. And so, yeah, it's just things like that that have left me thinking, don't worry so much. I don't talk about this on here. I don't like to talk about it, but I do have I suffer from a lot of anxiety from time to time. And I feel like I don't like to talk about it because I feel like we talk about it all the time these days. We often say things like, we don't talk about this enough, when I think actually we talk about it too much. Nowadays, not back way back when, but nowadays we do a lot. And there's no shame in it, but it also, talking about it is just kind of dwelling on it, isn't it? So I don't like to. But I'm sharing it with you right now just to say that I do dwell on things and feel worry and anxiety, and more I'm learning to let that go. Not entirely, but more and more. And I welcome more and more of that into my life, letting it go, letting things play out the way they are going to play out. So with that in mind, let me show you some more things that I've started to make and how those are playing out. I have here a hat, which is going to be, it doesn't look like much now because it's a hat and I haven't started the decreases, so its hat shape is not taken on yet. But it's going to be for one of the barbers at my barber shop who saw my Instagram and he asked if I would make him something, and I said, sure, why not? However, cold season is pretty much over, so he'll have to enjoy this later. And therefore, I'm also not too rushed with it. It's kind of my project when I just need something very, very simple to work on. It's just a 2x2 rib. And I'm doing it in Manos del Uruguay Fino. And these are yarns that were left over from when I made the painting chevron scarf. This is a West Knits design. And so, yeah, these are the blue and the navy and the bluish gray, which interestingly looks more gray here, and mixed in here, I don't know, I guess it looks gray here too. But anyway, yeah, but I do love the way these colors are blending up. I hope you can see that. They look really fun together, and it takes on a whole new light and life. So that's that I've got going on. And as I said before, I've gone through this last couple of weeks of a loss of knitting mojo, we'll call it. And not that I haven't been working on anything. I've been working on this. I've been working on the sock. It's just that, do you ever hit a moment and you're like, well, I just don't really feel like doing it right now, which is odd for me because mostly I enjoy doing it all the time. And, to hit one of those walls where you put it away and maybe go a day or two and don't knit, I'm like, okay, let's explore this. For some reason, I'm not feeling it. Let me just not feel it and then see what happens later. But then what happened was I thought, I just need a project to get excited about. This hat, as easy as it is, it's not exciting to make. It'll be beautiful to wear, and it's a lovely project. But it doesn't give me any kind of challenge or thrill. And that made me think, okay, you know what? I have had these yarns in my stash for over a year now. These were a gift from Birch Tree Fiber Arts company. And given to me, made for me, actually, after I'd posted a picture of the cordyline plant from St. Petersburg, Florida. And the colors of it, the hot pink and the brownish, greenish, reddish leaves that it has, I thought they were just striking, and you see it everywhere down there. So Birch Tree made me these. And so these are the yarns as they are balled up. And it's interesting, I hope you can see in this one that there's quite a lot of red in it, right? You can see that when it's in this form. And so there's echoes of this throughout. I pointed out here because when it's knit up, the variation disappears quite a bit. Everything kind of turns to brown. Um, but what I'm making with it, let me show you in a moment here. Um, I wanted to do something because these are colors inspired by a plant. I wanted to do something vegetal in its design, and I wanted to do something with brioche. And so this is what I have started, and because it's so see-through, yeah, maybe if I hold it against my chest here, it'll be easier for you to view. Um, Hold on here. There we go. Yeah, this is the Blooming Brioche shawl, and it's going to be enormous. And this is a design by Zandy Peters. And yeah, I'm really, really into it. Like, all of a sudden, again, this is the only thing I want to do is work on this because it's so complicated. For me, because I've not done brioche at this level. The brioche that I've done so far is a little bit in the Go-Go Dynamo shawl, which I still haven't finished, but there's a little bit of brioche in that, and the shorts that I made a while back. So all of these, well, this section of it, I should say, is called the roots, seeds, and bulbs, and you can see that, I think, right? These bulbs in this color, they look like red onions, don't they? I love that. But they definitely look bulbous, and the roots are rooting, and the bulbs are bulbing, and I am having the best time with this. Now, I said that the red disappears, and when I'm shining this light on it, I can still see it, or maybe I'm seeing the pink shining through. It doesn't matter, because I wanted this to look brown behind it anyway. But anyway, yeah, this is going to be so much fun. And if you're not familiar with this piece, if you haven't seen other people's versions of it, there are more than 400 on Ravelry. I believe that Zandy did this as a make-along, knit-along, at some point in the recent past. I'm not sure what year it was published, but yeah, so there are a ton of them to look at, and they're all just gorgeous. And as it grows, that when it gets fully developed along the border, these bulbs spread out into leaves, which spread out into flowers, and it's gonna be so cool. I can't wait. And I'm loving it so far. So where you see the lifeline, that's the first setup section that you do. And I have just completed the first section. What am I trying to say? The second section of the piece, it has a chart that's repeated either 3 or 5 times, depending on how big your shawl is going to be and how much yarn you have. I'm doing the smaller version. So I've done one repeat of the chart, what you see above the line, above the safety line. Lifeline, that's the word I'm looking for. What you see above that is one repeat of the chart, so there's going to be 2 more of that before I get to the next section. So it will grow quite a bit larger by that point in time. So I look forward to sharing this with you as it grows, and I hope you look forward to seeing it because it's a really, really awesome piece, and I'm going to highly recommend it already, even though I've not completed it. But I already know that I'm going to love it because I already am. And that has definitely restored my knitting mojo. And that means that I can take more pleasure in this in the small moments when I need to just, do it talking on the phone or something. Because I can't do anything else. It's really more complex than I'm willing to share my attention, I suppose. I can't watch something, at least not yet, because I'm still getting used to the decreases, what do they call it? The brioche under wrap decreases that, take four rows like this, 4 columns like this, and turn them into a bulbous bit like this. It's not that difficult, but it's tricky at first, and it took me a while to get a handle on that. And I think I do have a handle on it, so maybe I'm almost to the point where I can watch something at the same time. But I'm kind of enjoying just having a quiet mind and focusing on this and this alone and not worrying about anything else in life. And yeah, it's been fun. Do I have anything else to show you? Not sitting around me. Did I have anything else in my notes to talk about? Oh, yeah, I did actually. It's not something that I have with me to show, but I realize in other podcasts, knitting podcasts, uh, people often talk about the pieces that they're stalking, the things that they're seeing online a lot and looking forward to making. And this is something else that is getting me kind of excited. And I don't know if you probably are already following Taylor Xavier Croche. I believe he's in Brazil, I think. But he's got a huge following on Instagram, and he does these amazing shirts and tops all in crochet. I have not seen anything of his yet that's knitting, and his handle includes the word crochet, so I think he's pretty much crochet 24/7. But anyway, he's got this shirt that he's made several versions of, and I'll try to put some up here for you, and he's posted it a bunch. And every time I see it, I think, yeah, I want to make that. That looks like a fun piece. And I would love to do it in linen, something that's going to be nice in the hot weather. And a little fun, a little sexy, but not too sexy, that kind of thing. If you've watched my episodes on my lacy pieces that I've made, I've experimented with things that, even as I've made them and worn them, I'm like, ooh, I'm not comfortable in this. But this piece, I think, covers enough that I would be comfortable in it. So yeah, that means, though, that I'm going to have to learn how to crochet more, better than I do now. And it also means, so I was looking around to see if he has any patterns, and I've not found them written out. But he does have a YouTube channel where he shows you how to make this shirt. And I know, and I know you know, that there are plenty of channels out there that will walk you through every step of a piece and make it with you. I have never made an entire piece that way. I've certainly learned skills and techniques through YouTube videos, but I've never started and finished an entire piece watching a video. So to me, I would generally prefer to have it in writing. That way of absorbing the concept works for me. I know it doesn't for everybody, and so therefore videos are really good, but for me it works. I don't like watching the videos so much because I don't like to keep going back again and again and again, which I know I will be doing. And I do that when I'm learning a technique because you just have to. But I'm like, the prospect of doing an entire top that way seems a little annoying. But it's the only format in which I can do it. But then there's another added obstacle. He speaks in Portuguese, and I think only in Portuguese in his videos. I don't know about in real life. But so I turned on, I practiced this already. I turned on the closed captioning, which is in Portuguese, and I'm able to read it well enough. I can't listen and understand very well, but I can read Portuguese well enough. And what I don't know, I can look up. So I spent some time just watching it to ask myself, can I do this? Can I watch this? I mean, obviously it's visual, so you can watch him do the thing, but it's crochet, and I'm not an expert crocheter, so there's a lot of things I won't completely understand. So anyway, in the end, that all makes it a little more exciting. Like, yeah, I am going to make this thing. I'm going to watch this video in Portuguese. I'm going to figure it out, and that's going to be fun. So that has gotten my knitting, crocheting mojo back a bit too. So anyhow, that, I think, friends, is probably going to be it for today. It's getting a little bit darker here, and I need to edit this video and go to bed tonight and get some rest. So, yeah, I hope you've enjoyed it. If you stuck around to the end, thank you. And, I always forget to say this. I should probably say it in the beginning or maybe the middle. But if you are enjoying this channel, please like, subscribe, follow, ding the button, etc., etc., all the things they tell you to do all the time, because it does help for other people to see this if you like and subscribe and leave comments and things like that, and I will comment you back, and I look forward to it. So again, Prague. Any tips on Prague? Let me know. I'm very curious to know people's experiences there and what I should see and do. All right, friends. Till next time.